I think I promised a senior review video over the weekend, and especially after him, unfortunately, I didn't have much time to watch the movie as I was watching the other reviews that have already come out. But I finally got around to watching the senior, and it's a pretty damn good sports movie. I didn't know what or who Angel Studios was prior to the senior, but apparently, I've watched all their movie releases so far this year. I could be wrong, but I think they released only two other movies this year, and I wasn't surprised. As I was watching this movie, the first thing that came to my mind was, man, this feels like a football version of The Last Rodeo. And of course, one of their movies this year was The Last Rodeo. And I think I was 50-50 on Last Rodeo. It looks like they improved a lot between this movie and that one. I don't know, there's different editing teams or something along those lines for this movie and that movie, but this movie looks way better than that one. Like, there aren't egregiously ugly scenes in this movie that I can remember off the top of my head, at least. Um, and of course, they released Sketch this year, which I did a review. I think it goes right here. I'm gonna put it right there if you haven't seen that review yet. And I loved Sketch. I thought it was a really fun, creative movie. And Senior is a very fun movie. It is a solid football movie, though I do wish we got more football scenes. I know this is based on a true story. I don't know how much entirely of this is true to the actual story. I do wish they exaggerated it a bit more because having Michael Chiklis in your movie is something great already. I think he's a pretty decent actor, a pretty good actor. I mean, I think this he's above this movie. But maybe now in his career, maybe this is the type of movie he needs to do to get back up again. I'm not really sure, but I always love Michael Chiklis. Of course, he was in the Fantastic Four, and even after the Fantastic Four's end, he still was pretty open about doing it and coming back, and was a huge fan of it and always wanted to return. So, I mean, it's nice to see him in anything nowadays. He was probably the best performance in this movie. I don't think there's a really outstanding performance at all. I think everyone is just good. I don't think there's anyone horrible, and I don't think anyone's fantastic, to say the least. But Michael Chiklis definitely gives the best performance of the movie. Maybe the other best performance, it could go to one of his two teammates, but it might be his wife, played by Mary Stuart Masterson. I think she might have given the second best performance, but Michael Chiklis really just steals the show. I mean, to no one's surprise, he is the main character, and he does fucking great. I think he is pretty great. But yeah, like I said, nothing outstanding. Visually, this movie's a huge step up from The Last Rodeo, maybe equal to or a bit better than Sketch. I think this movie just has a lot of better shots, and it definitely helps with the Saturday night lights that they have around in the football games. Just makes a lot of these nighttime shots look way, way better than they should. So, shout out for Angel Studios for picking it up visually in this movie. I think it was great. Story wise, it's nothing complicated, nothing too crazy, though I do think it drags in a couple moments. Specifically, the scene where he's trying to like heal from his injury. And he finds his dead Bible in the garage and all that stuff. Just feels like it drags too long. This movie shouldn't have been an hour 40, probably should have been an hour 20, and I do think it should have cut a lot of the drama and put a lot of football, because I think when the football scenes are in this movie, they're really good. And I was feeling kind of like I was watching Coach Carter, the basketball scenes of Coach Carter, which I think are done very well in that movie. This movie made me feel that way for the football games. You were really rooting for this team that you really shouldn't care about. You have number 76. I'm just remembering the numbers, unfortunately. I don't know why I'm forgetting any of the actors' names, but number 76, who was just a complete douchebag, and you weren't. supposed to like him at all, but it's nice his little comeback at the end for the last game. That was nice. And of course, you have, man, I really wish I remember the actors' names. Number 9, number 4, number 32, if I remember correctly. All three of them were fantastic. The two black actors and the Hispanic actor. I think all three of them were great. They were easily the best side characters in the movie besides Michael Chiklis' wife. Every time they're on screen, it's like a bomb of joy is hitting your face. I like that the team doesn't really hate Michael Chiklis at all, except for the one guy. I like that it's just a pretty good feel good story for most of the movie with his team, and everyone just supports him and is rooting for him to be this really good 59-year-old football player. So yeah, story wise, this movie's pretty fun. But I do really wish there were more football scenes. Otherwise, this movie is pretty good. I think I am giving Senior a 6 out of 10, or 3 out of 5. I don't think nothing is necessarily bad in this movie, and I don't think anything's necessarily amazing in this movie. This really is just an okay movie, and it had the potential to be something great, but too much dragging of the drama, not enough football scenes, especially that last game, man. We really needed more from that last game because the scenes we get in that last game feel so good, but it's just so short and it just feels like nothing cool really happens, which sucks, but Senior's a fine watch if you haven't seen it. I guess it's my favorite football movie of the year. Unfortunately, I really wanted to be him, but Senior for now is my favorite football movie of the year. If you haven't seen it, I recommend seeing it. It's a fun watch. A bit too long, but I think it's fine. You won't leave the theater upset.